So the first item on our agenda is public comment. We do ask that you limit your public comment to 5 minutes. Does anybody have any public comment for the board this evening? Burt.
Hi, everybody. Burt Hynes, Worcester Township. Last January and February, I attended Board of Supervisors meetings here, and there was a lot of dialogue at that time about a referendum on open space. And I got the impression that the three supervisors at the time were in favor of putting a referendum on the November ballot. There were details that had to be worked out, and there was further discussion that needed to occur. And then along came COVID, and everything got put on hold, and understandably so. So I'm here tonight to say a year has gone by. I think from my perspective, it's time to pick up where we left off a year ago. We're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel on COVID, and I realize that there are a lot of things that have to happen from a timeline perspective prior to putting something on the November ballot. So I looked at that and I thought about things, and I said, you know, with each passing year, there's just more and more development going on in Worcester, and we're not alone. But with each development, there's less open space available. What would a referendum do? A referendum would, if approved, give us a dedicated source of funding so that we could acquire open space when it becomes available, or it could be used for the maintenance of trails and maintenance of open space. A lot of good can come out of that. The other thing that I realized is that for the township to be eligible for grant funding for open space, whether it's matching or some percentage of matching, you need to be able to show some buy-in on your part. And that buy-in could be proven and shown if we had a dedicated source of funds to work from. Now, I realize that a referendum comes with a tax increase. You've got to pay for what you're doing somehow. And there's never a good time to do that. If we asked 100 people, none of them would ever tell us when is the right time for a tax increase. But the longer that we wait to put aside monies to purchase open space or maintain open space, the less opportunity we're going to have to either acquire it, or the less monies are going to be available. So I'd like to just remind all of you that open space is an investment. It's an investment in our collective future. And I see it that way for three reasons. I think it preserves open space for future generations, that's one. I think it helps cut down on costs that are associated with costs of development, and that's increased costs. When you have more development, you have more needs for municipal services. And also, I think it helps preserve our natural resources. And if I refer you back to a conversation we had back in July, where we presented a return on environmental study and shared that with the board. And there they talked about the benefit of natural resources and what open space allows with that. So I see that as a very positive thing, and therefore I'm asking you to resurrect the conversation about a referendum this coming November and start moving along the lines to get the discussions going, because there's a lot of discussion. I'm sure I'm bringing one opinion, and there will be a lot of other opinions out there about it. But I'm asking that we put the referendum out there so that all the people in the township can have a say. And I also remind you that a referendum, if approved, the taxpayers are the ones who are saying, we want a tax increase. They're not coming to the Board of Supervisors and saying, please, they're saying raise our taxes, but for a specific reason. But it's not thrown into your lap of having to raise taxes. And as I think about it and watch, you've done a great job over the years of maintaining our taxes and keeping our services where they have been. Whether it's the board in conjunction with Tommy, you've towed the line and held things up well, and we're doing well as a township, but I think we can do better. I ask myself the question, what if we don't go this route? And what I see is increased development, I see more traffic congestion, traffic woes, and I see more demand for municipal services. And all those are still going to result in a tax increase, but that tax increase will not be taxpayer-backed so much as board-ordered. So I ask you to go back and think about it. I thank you for listening to me tonight. I know a few of you were writing, but just in case, I have some notes on what I said, and I'll give you those so that you have a hard copy in case something's overlooked. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Burt. We appreciate the public comment, and certainly you're right. That topic did come up last year, and I think,
Thank you.
generally speaking, we were all supportive of the notion of letting the voters make that type of a decision, so certainly it's something that we can take under advisement again.